Join me as I dive into the jaw-dropping moment when Deitrick Haddon collapsed in church after a shocking reveal. Can I figure out what really happened? Deitrick Haddon is a name that resonates deeply within the gospel music scene. As a renowned pastor, gospel singer, and songwriter, he has touched the lives of many through his powerful messages and soul-stirring music. His contributions to the genre have made him a respected figure, and his church, the Cathedral of Faith in Oakland, California, has been a spiritual home to countless individuals seeking solace and guidance. What would you do if the person you trusted most publicly exposed a secret that shook your entire life? And in the same moment, the world watched you collapse. At just 52, gospel singer Deitrick Haddon experienced a moment that no one saw coming. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what happened in church when his wife revealed shocking details, how it unfolded in real time, and why this scandal is now dominating headlines. Stay tuned because the truth behind this incident is far more complex than what clips online are showing. This shocking moment involving Deitrick Haddon has left fans, churchgoers, and the online community in disbelief. A celebrated gospel artist known for his powerful voice and ministry impact, Haddon has built a career on faith, inspiration, and spiritual leadership. But during a recent service, everything changed in an instant when his wife publicly exposed allegations that no one expected, leading to a dramatic collapse that quickly went viral. In this video, we're going to break down the full story, what led up to this church incident, the details of the exposure, and how Deitrick Haddon and his ministry responded. We'll cover the events as they unfolded, the reactions from witnesses, and the wider implications for Haddon's career and reputation. You'll also get context on previous controversies, patterns of behavior, and what this means for both his personal life and public ministry. By the end of this video, you'll understand not only what happened in the moment that made headlines, but also the deeper story behind it, including facts, eyewitness accounts, and verified information that most people haven't seen. And as we go through each section, you'll notice moments that were truly shocking. Moments that caused the congregation to gasp, and moments that left many questioning everything they thought they knew about one of gospel music's most prominent figures. The scene at the church that day was nothing out of the ordinary at first glance. Deitrick Haddon, known for his energetic preaching style and heartfelt music, was leading a service that had been widely promoted as a special night of worship. Fans and congregation members arrived early, some dressed in their Sunday best, others carrying cameras and phones to capture the experience. Excitement buzzed in the air, and social media posts hinted at anticipation for a night full of inspiration. From the moment the service began, the atmosphere was electric. Worship flowed seamlessly into sermon moments, and the congregation was visibly engaged, singing, clapping, and responding with loud amens. It was the kind of service many attendees said felt spiritually alive with energy that drew everyone into the moment. Yet, even amidst the worship, there were subtle signs of tension. Some regular attendees sensed an unusual intensity in Haddon's demeanor, describing him as more serious, more deliberate, and at times slightly tense. As the service progressed, Haddon's wife, who had previously maintained a private profile in comparison to his public ministry, suddenly appeared poised to address the congregation. There was a noticeable shift in the room. Whispers, glances, and nervous movements among the audience. Cameras and phones quickly focused on her, and everyone instinctively knew that what was about to happen was significant. Before any words were spoken, the tension was almost palpable. Ushers and church staff tried to maintain calm, but the congregation's attention was fully captured. People were leaning forward in their seats, some whispering questions to neighbors, others quietly bracing for what might unfold. This was not part of the usual worship service. Something unprecedented was about to take place. Then, as she prepared to speak, Haddon's expression changed noticeably. Some witnesses reported seeing signs of anxiety, a tightening of his jaw, and quick glances toward the exits. The room seemed to pause collectively, waiting for the moment that would ultimately make headlines when Haddon's wife publicly exposed allegations that no one in attendance and likely many of his fans had anticipated. This section sets the stage for the dramatic events that followed. In the next part, we'll break down exactly what she revealed, how it caught Deitrick Haddon off guard, and the immediate reaction of the congregation. Moments that shocked everyone present and quickly went viral online. The moment Haddon's wife began to speak, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. What started as a typical service quickly became a tense, emotionally charged scene. She did not approach the podium with hesitation. Her posture was confident, her voice steady, and her words were deliberate. The congregation, initially expecting a continuation of worship and ministry, suddenly realized that they were about to witness something deeply personal and publicly revealing. She began by addressing issues in their marriage and allegations that had long been rumored but never confirmed. While she did not reveal every intimate detail, she spoke candidly about breaches of trust, specific instances of dishonesty, and behavior that contradicted the public persona Deitrick Haddon had cultivated over decades. These statements confirmed suspicions that had circulated in the gospel community, leaving many in the room stunned. Eyewitnesses described an almost tangible shockwave ripple through the congregation. Some people gasped audibly while others instinctively leaned forward as if trying to catch every word. The atmosphere grew heavier with each sentence, and Haddon's own reaction became increasingly visible. At first, he attempted to maintain composure, placing a hand over his mouth, blinking rapidly and shaking slightly. It was clear that the exposure was hitting him with full force, not just as a public figure, but as a man confronted in front of his community and loved ones. The allegations she shared were precise enough to be credible, but carefully framed to avoid sensationalism. The shocking exposure that led to Haddon's collapse was a bombshell that left everyone reeling. It all started when disturbing allegations surfaced, casting a shadow over his reputation and ministry. These allegations not only shook the church community but also left fans and followers grappling with feelings of betrayal and confusion. The weight of these accusations seemed to bear down on Haddon, leading to a moment of sheer emotional overload. The emotional impact of this exposure was palpable, with many in the church community feeling blindsided by the revelations. The sense of trust that had been built over the years seemed to be shattered in an instant, leaving congregants questioning everything they thought they knew about their beloved pastor. The ripple effect of this exposure was felt far and wide, with discussions and debates erupting both within and outside the church walls. As the news spread like wildfire, the church community found itself at a crossroads, struggling to come to terms with the allegations and their implications. The reactions ranged from shock and denial to anger and disappointment, reflecting the complex emotions that often accompany such situations. Meanwhile, fans and followers took to social media to express their thoughts and feelings, with some calling for Haddon to step down and others defending him until more information came to light. The day of the collapse, Deitrick Haddon was in the middle of a service at his church. As he took the stage, it was clear that something was off. His usual composure seemed shaken, and the words that normally flowed so effortlessly from his lips were now laced with emotion. It was as if the weight of the world had finally caught up with him, and in that moment, he just broke down. Witnesses described the scene as heart-wrenching, with many in attendance visibly moved to tears by the sight of their pastor in such a state. The church, once a sanctuary, had become a backdrop for a very public display of vulnerability. This moment marked a turning point, not just for Haddon, but for the entire church community, forcing them to confront the harsh realities and uncertainties that lay ahead. The collapse was more than just a physical moment, it was an emotional release that highlighted the toll that the allegations had taken on Haddon. It was a stark reminder that even those in positions of power and authority are not immune to the pressures and consequences of their actions. The silence that followed was deafening, with many left wondering what the future held for Haddon and his ministry. In the aftermath of the collapse, the focus shifted to the implications of these events for Haddon and his followers. It was a sobering reminder that leaders are human too, and that their actions have consequences that can affect not just themselves, but also those who look up to them. The situation served as a lesson in humility and the importance of accountability, emphasizing that no one is above the law or immune to the repercussions of their actions. If you've been following this story, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Deitrick Haddon's situation, and how do you think it will impact the gospel music scene moving forward? Be sure to check out my other videos for more updates on similar topics, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest news and analysis. Thanks for the watching and subscribe.